Thank you once again for visiting 95KQDS.com and our channel on YouTube for the KQ Ultimate 15 Countdown. I'm Jason Manning. That would be Vice President here at Midwest Communications and Radio Renaissance man Sean Scramstad. Album number 8 is where we find ourselves on the countdown. We're getting close to number 1, about halfway through now.
We are. This is a great one. This was one of my picks, as you pointed out.
Well, we bandied as we bandied about the list in your office. It took a week or two to come down to narrow it down to the final 15. We got stuck on this one.
This is all about South Dakota. Okay, let me explain. When this album came out, I was firmly entrenched in South Dakota, working at a little AM radio station, and I just remember this very well, listening to this over and over and over again. And I'll tell you what, this album, I think, got short shrift when it first came out because I don't think it did as well as it is remembered now.
Sure.
I think it's respected a lot
AEROSMITH
more.
Toys in the Attic, by the way. I don't think we said the album.
No,
name.
we didn't.
That might help.
This one.
So this is one you insisted on. You pulled rank. You did the whole thing.
I did. Well, because I think Toys in the Attic is really a milestone for him. I think that. Like I said, I think it's lasted and it's represented today better than when it was launched. I think it really has stand the test of time well. Walk This Way was the hit.
Sure. But
Sweet Emotion is really the song that is endured.
And Sweet Emotion, it's one of those, it still holds up today. It's such a great sounding. And Tom Hamilton's bass line is still ridiculous.
It's such a progressive song.
Yeah.
It honestly, it wears well, and it sounds great yet today. And I think it's one of our very, we have a power category, and that will forever reign. And power is, I think, as long as you and I are probably here, it's just a great sounding record.
It is. I don't know if Joe Perry and company remember much of it. I read his autobiography, and I don't know if you know this, but they did a lot of drugs back in the 70s.
No.
Yes, they did. Kids don't do drugs. We certainly don't advocate or condone that sort of behavior, and it didn't go well for AEROSMITH pretty much post Toys in the Attic until they cleaned their act up, and they came back. And now they're playing down in the Twin Cities at Shakopee in July. They're headlining the Twin Cities Summer Jam, and they sound better than ever. They're doing their residency in Las Vegas. They sound better than they've ever sounded.
Probably. I mean, this was a bad era for them, honestly.
Personally, it wasn't going so well.
This was chemically induced. But this was such a great album for them. And honestly, Walk This Way was a monster hit, even though Sweet Emotion really was the better song, I think, ultimately.
Sure.
But it did sort of mark a turning point in their writing, and I think they just really, it was just one of those milestones.
I forgot Big 10-inch records on here. That's where your juvenile disc jockeys just love Big 10-inch record. But it's on here. You'll be able to hear it. The Ultimate 15 Countdown. Well, they do. They just think that's the funniest thing in the world.
I know. So, it's juvenile.
It is, but what are you going to do? It's the business we're in.
Yeah, it's a great record.
So number 8 on the countdown is AEROSMITH Toys in the Attic. The Ultimate 15 Countdown is brought to you by Musical Round, brought to you by Cars Complete Auto Repair in Woodland. We also thank Gronk's Grill and Bar and Denny's Lawn and Garden each and every Saturday up until number 1, 10 o'clock right here at KQ. We play it on vinyl. Kevin Key is your host. We count down to number 1, which will happen right around July 4th weekend. I'm Jason. That's Sean.
Yep.
Thanks for checking us out.